It's time to bid farewell to the NHL's 2004-2005 season and what might have been.
I'm honored to be here after 29 seasons and 50 years old. When you're older than most of the fans and coaches and owners, it's tough taking orders from people. Should probably retire after this. I don't know.
Okay, Samson, what's it looking like?
Hang on a second, sir. I'm checking the video on the Jets sideline. Boom, I got it. Okay, they're in man-to-man coverage. Blitz is coming from the left, so run to the right.
You're the boss. Tom, let's get Lawrence on a dive.
Awesome.
Like candy from a baby. Samson, don't stop now.
Okay, let's get a pass going. Wait a second. Zone blitz. We got a zone blitz coming from the right-hand side.
down. Check to run. First down. That's game planning. That's pure game planning. 3rd and 8. We need the score.
All right, they're in man. We got 2 guys on Moss, 2 guys on Stallworth, and a dude who can't tackle all alone on Wes Welker.
Wes Welker, get him the ball. Wes Welker, get him the ball. Okay, defense. This is exciting.
He's turning Clint Boyer into the wall, collecting Joey Logano. Caution flag is out. Almirola slides in. Did the leader take the white flag before the caution came out?
Limit to the garage, straight right. Fire's gone, fire's gone. United, fire's back.
Late lapse
Yellow
retaliation.
fire, if you want to stop right there, there's a fire truck that can get to you if you stop right there.
Checking with NASCAR, the caution was out before the white flag. We're not done with this race yet.
No, it's down now, it's down. You're good. Just stay on.
And mayhem in the late laps here at Phoenix. You saw the first incident that cut the tire with Jeff Gordon, put him into the wall. He basically waited on Clint Boyer to come around and took him out.
All this was happening right in front of Brad Keselowski, and he was racing Joey Logano, and I was afraid they were going to get caught up, or Brad was going to get caught up into it. He somehow got through it.
Jeff has been summoned to the NASCAR hauler for a post-race visit.
Well, they said they were going to let him have at it. That's having at it right there. That's a year's worth of frustration.
Oh, conflict. The Cruiser in it. And somewhere in the middle of that is Jeff Gordon.
I'm sure Clint Boyer wants his opportunity at this. Can't really blame him.
That's stupid.
Well, the tempers have boiled over here in Phoenix after late race contact between Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer, and then a payback. And there are going to be a lot of visitors to the NASCAR transporter after the race. Boyer's crew chief, Boyer. Gordon's crew chief, Gordon. I'll bet the team owners are in there too.
This cost Boyer a lot. It was going to be third in points, just a few points behind. Yeah, with an opportunity, just a few points behind Jimmy Johnson. He was maybe 7 or 8 points as they were running behind Jimmy Johnson.
I have agreed upon the following sanctions. First, the NCAA is imposing a fine of $60 million on the university, with the funds to be used to establish an endowment to support programs around the nation that serve the victims of child sexual abuse and seek to prevent such abuse from happening. This amount is the equivalent of 1 year's gross revenue of the football team. Second, Penn State football will be banned from bowl games and any other postseason play for 4 years. Third, Penn State's football team will have its initial scholarships reduced from 25 to 15 per year for a period of 4 years. In order to minimize the negative impact on student athletes, the NCAA will allow any entering or returning football student athletes to transfer and immediately compete at the transfer university, provided he is otherwise eligible. Further, any football student athlete who wants to remain at Penn State may retain his athletic grant and aid as long as he meets and maintains appropriate academic requirements, regardless of whether he competes on the football team. Fourth, the NCAA vacates all wins of the Penn State football team from 1998 to 2011, and the records will reflect these changes. Fifth, the university athletic program will serve a 5-year probationary period during which it must work with an academic integrity monitor of the association's choosing. And finally, the NCAA is reserving the right to initiate a formal investigation and disciplinary processes to impose sanctions as needed on individuals involved in this case after the conclusion of any criminal proceedings.
In Ireland, Tiger Woods clearly thought questions about his personal life were subpar. Woods was answering questions following a charity tournament yesterday when he was pressed by a reporter about his recent personal problems.
A time like this, sometimes you risk losing families, or you risk losing, let's say, the sponsorship that accompanies the things. Do you ever reflect on and think, was it worth it?
I think you're looking too deep into this.
So, I mean, it's not something that you'd...
Thank you.
And there you have it. Woods is preparing for next week's British Open at his home in Florida.
On that hugely controversial call at the end of the Seahawks-Packer game Monday night, the fury over it could help end the referee lockout. And this morning, we're learning more about the stand-in refs who made that call. ABC's Dan Harris is here with more. Dan, are they in hiding?
No, for a lot of people say unfortunately not. The uproar over those replacement refs and that now infamous call may finally force the NFL and the regular refs to end their labor dispute. This morning, the two sides are reportedly back at the table.
Is a Wilson loft to the end zone, which is...
You know it's a bad call when the president himself calls it terrible, and Republican vice presidential candidate Paul Ryan agrees.
It is time to get the real refs.
It happened Monday night, the Hail Mary pass and the question, who caught it? The Green Bay Packer defender or the Seattle Seahawks receiver? And look at those two replacement referees standing over the scrum, one calling it a touchdown for Seattle, the other signaling something entirely different.
It's a joke. The whole thing's a joke. You're really into the game, and you want to see it done properly.
On Tuesday, the NFL stood by the ultimate decision to give the touchdown to Seattle, but that did nothing to quell the uproar, which is really the climax of weeks' worth of frustration over these replacement refs brought in by the league while the regular refs are locked out in a labor dispute. Experts say the situation is damaging the integrity of the...
In the wrong corner, and he came in the last corner and just drilled us. And not only he put me in the grass, he put me against the tie. It was just a amateur move, and I got really upset with him. I didn't even have the courage of telling me what he had to do. So just I don't have time for guys like that. But overall, it was a great event. Really proud to be here at Mosport. Awesome show, and if you didn't like this, come back again.
14 straight top 10s, and we've seen that before. Max Pappas has actually slapped another driver, but with a helmet on. We haven't seen it before like that.